Well, Batman. Oh yeah, we're talking about a video game on this channel. Feels like it's been a while since I've done that. I know I did talk about the new Yakuza release and all of that, where it was the new Yakuza game or Yakuza game in that franchise, where it was the Yakuza Kiwami 3 remake. But I'm back at it again with a video game review, which I don't do very often on this channel. And that is because sometimes I take a little bit longer to finish a video game than finishing a film or finishing a series. And so yeah, and also I'm not a gaming channel mostly, but I do like to chip in with these sort of videos occasionally to spice up the content of my channel sometimes. And if I'm passionate enough, like I am about this one right here today, then I'm gonna come through and talk about it, and that's what I'm gonna do. But before I get into how I feel about this, I am gonna quickly show you something that I ended up doing to create a really just a better overall experience with my whole gaming experience with the Lego Batman game. So if you don't know already, I actually ended up buying a new controller where it was because that this one absolutely capitulated in a certain way where I'm trying to play the game, I'm trying to go on the home screen, it keeps going like that, and then when I'm trying to log into my account, it keeps going like this, moving about and going just going ballistic when I'm trying to use it, and it's like, what's going on here? So what did I do? Went on to Amazon shopping and bought a new controller where it actually is got the white at the back, it's got the blue, it's got the black. So there's a lot more going for that controller, and because of that controller that I have bought, it's made it a good way where it's like, oh yeah, got a new controller, I can actually dig into this game and just really get it going and really enjoy it. And so that is that part of it. I have played the other Lego Batmans before. I actually am gonna replay the older ones at some point. I have actually decided to order those off the internet where I'm getting a physical copy of those. So I'll definitely get into that sort of thing. And so that is all of that. I'm just building foundation, building context, because that's what I do on my channel. It's to build the context is the best way to do it. It introduces everything. And so let's get into this. So what I'll start off with is I'll start off with what I liked about the game, and I'll get into some of the things where I was like, it's not too bad, not so perfect, but you know what? That's just what happens with these things. You're not always going to get not always going to get 100%, 100 out of 100 or 10 out of 10 or 99. Obviously, it's not always going to be 100% perfect or 10 out of 10 or you know, absolutely you can say, oh, this is going to be an amazing, perfect thing. Because sometimes you're like, oh, yeah, there's certain things that come with these things, like, there's certain things in video games or movies where it's like, that you can't have a masterpiece all the time. And so the first thing I'll say about this game, in terms of the quality, in terms of that enjoyment experience, is that wow, oh yeah, it does get the job done and kind of does get it over the line for me, where it's like Lego Batman: The Legacy of the Dark Knight is a game that I enjoy playing, where you kind of know what you're getting yourself into with a Lego Batman game, where you have the Bruce Wayne origin story, you have the boss fights, you have the villains, you have all that fun stuff where you get to know about the characters, and you get a nice reintroduction into the Batman universe where you have the Dark Knight movies, but then you also get lots of different sort of suits that you upgrade. You definitely get to upgrade yourself where you get more than one suit when you complete levels, when you complete missions and things. And it goes from just that regular black Batman suit with the grey through it, or with the black Batman suit that's blue, the black or the blue or the yellow. Like, it has a lot of variety, different colour styles of the Batman in Lego form. So enjoyed that about it. So you get to play as Lego Batman. You get to play as Lego Batman, and you play it as Batman, right? The fact that you also get to play as Catwoman, Robin, you get Dick Grayson, Nightwing. You get all these different choices of characters to play as. You get to actually just drive. You get to explore the whole of Gotham and things like that. Where you just drive around. You could just go and stop a crime, defeat the enemies, and get more Lego coins, and build your way up, and you can upgrade things in the Batcave. There's a lot of things like that where it's like, oh yeah, That is a really good thing about this game, where it's like it really is a way. It really gets itself in a way where it's like this is the type of game where the developers of the game understand why why the fans and the people who play the other Lego Batman games is why we play these Lego Batman games is because it's fun and we get to relive the Batman experience once more, and absolutely just love all of that. Love the gliding throughout the city. Love the exploration side of things. Love all of that stuff. So I love all of that about it. And so what I'll say is when it comes to the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight in terms of that way where it's like, that's not perfect, is when it starts to be repetitive and you just have yourself pressing RB to take down enemies, or you have a puzzle where, oh, I've done that maybe 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, 9, 10 times, and it does that again, where you repetitively go through a motion, go through a routine of doing puzzles. And I do understand that it is a Lego Batman game where it's like, oh, it's got to have familiarity about it. It's got to have a certain way of doing things, but it's like, it does kind of change the quality of certain aspects where you're like, I'm enjoying the game, but then the puzzles just don't have enough different variety towards it. Like, you'll do the same puzzle maybe 4 or 5, 6, 7 or 8, 9, 10 times, and then another puzzle comes around and it has a certain same way to do things. So that's what I'll say about it. That's what I was mostly kind of negative about. I just thought the puzzles and the way you do the puzzles and some of the gameplay, it wasn't like unique or anything. Where when you're going over and you're fighting enemies, it's like you button mash, or you go and you press the buttons again, and you go and you press the buttons again, and that's really what it is, and that's what I'll say about it. Obviously enjoyed the exploration, loved the variety of suits, loved everything like that. And then I'll get onto the story as well too, because I enjoyed that because you got a full sweep of the whole Dark Knight trilogy in this game. That was cool, and how you got to pretty much go from Ra's al Ghul right down to the wire with Bane. And honestly, that was absolute scenes. I will be honest, and I just love the voice acting in this game, where you do feel like, oh, that does sound like the Joker, doesn't it? And oh yeah, that does sound like Bane, doesn't it? And it just has a vibe about it where it's like the people that made this game, they understand why we play these Lego Batman games, and so that was my complaint about it. That's what I enjoyed about it. Loved the voice acting and loved the exploration. Loved all of that. And so overall, I'll be honest, when it came to all comes down to rating this game out of 10, probably give it an 8 out of 10. Okay, it is a real enjoyable time. There are some shortcomings with the combat. There are some shortcomings with the puzzles and all of that. But it gets it over the line and it does everything it needs to do as a Batman game while having flaws to it and things of that nature. And there is also something else about this game where, oh yeah, it's absolutely just an enjoyable game overall, because it does do that silly Lego style where you have the silly comedy. There's silly ways in which you can actually change the voice of. There's parts where you can actually make Batman have a deep voice or a silly voice, and you can do all these things in this game. It's endless amounts of fun, and honestly, that's how I felt overall. Maybe I'll go around and try out the new. They're actually making this new like DLC coming out next month, so maybe I might do maybe a review on that as well too. If I find a really good way to get my points across again, like this video, and talk about it, and honestly would enjoy doing that. So overall, that's how I felt about the game. This is my natural kind of corresponding natural response, everything like that to this game. That's how I would respond as a reviewer, as how I would respond as a gamer and stuff like that. So hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know if you enjoyed this game, or you were more critical about the game, or you just thought it was an absolute amazing game overall. There's no problems with that at all. There's always those people where it's like really loved it. There's a couple of things I didn't like, and then there's some people just like 10 out of 10. There's all of that sort of thing where people have different opinions. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for more like this one. I try to be as thorough about my explanations. try not to spoil too much, but give you an understanding of what I liked, what I sort of was like thinking, oh, there are some shortcomings indeed and all that. So hope you enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for more like this one. And it just really goes to show that the Cape Crusader can still really swing through the city in 2026. So see you after for more reviews on the James Ramblin' Reviews, and goodbye.